Oh, Jesus. Welcome to another Dark Mushroom Media cast, pod, live, whatever. My name is Tim. With me is Jose
Hello.
and Palmer.
Howdy, howdy.
And a lot of gaming news today.
A lot of it.
Where do we want to start, honestly?
Well, why don't we start with Nosgoth, the update with the new human class. Let's talk about that. Actually, you might as well just start from the get-go on that. Educate me from the very beginning, because I honestly have no idea what this game is.
Nosgoth is a free-to-play, like, team-based deathmatch, objective-type gameplay. It's in the same universe as the Legacy of Kain games from, like, PlayStation 1, like, decade ago.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, basically,
Is
Wait,
it awesome?
really? It's in that universe?
yeah.
Interesting.
That's what initially drew me to it. I think there were like four of those games made, but
Yeah.
nothing in anywhere near recent years. And then a year or two ago, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do a free-to-play model set in the same universe, but no, has nothing to do with like the characters from the previous Legacy of Kain games." But it's free to play. There's basically humans versus vampires, and there's different classes. Like there's an alchemist human where you throw fucking alchemists from Dota 2 pots of shit. There's a witch doctor looking fucker. Can't remember class name. And then there's your standard, like there's a crossbowman. There's like a more warrior character. It's pretty much what you'd expect. Same thing with the vampires. There's like a big bruiser heavy character. There's a guy that can glide around the sky. There's a guy that can cloak. It's just as far as the setting and the gameplay, it's pretty unique. It's basically kind of a TF2 take on it, but it's just an old school, like kind of Victorian era setting with vampires, and you shoot stuff at them. It's funsies.
Cool.
But
So-
with the latest update, they added a new class, and really, it's not so much that they added a new class. It's just it's Nosgoth is still in early access, and it's been in early access for a while. But they've continuously released updates for it and are like supporting it. And it's one of those early access games that actually looks like it's doing early access right, despite
Okay.
it being a free to play game.
All right. Like, is it actually free to play though?
There are some bullshit pay to win elements, but with the new update, they kind of it seems like paid attention to the community bitching about that because now there's daily rewards. It's more in the vein of Smite than like something like Hearthstone or Heroes of the Storm.
Okay.
It's basically
so
like
what-
Go
Do you
ahead.
know what exactly that DLC is? That's pay to win? It's not just cosmetics?
No, it's not really. It's just unlocking classes and weapons and shit. You can do it all in game,
Oh.
but you can just drop down $50 and get a head start. I mean, it's technically it's kind of pay to win, but on the other hand, it's you grind it out. It's kind of one of those weird things. It's not like you'd have to grind it out for months on end to really have your character or player set. It's one of those things where after you playing the game for a couple of weeks, you'll have a pretty good feel for the game, and you won't really have an opponent that'll have a leg up on you.
Okay. All right.
But the reward system's
Is
cool
it like
too. It's basically like Go
is
ahead.
it like Warframe levels of grinding?
no,
Okay.
Jesus. With every update too, that game just adds more and more grinding. So it's just Dick City.
Yeah.
But no, it's not that bad. Like it doesn't take fucking dozens of hours to unlock one class or anything like that. And the
Okay.
reward system's interesting in that like it's a spin the wheel type thing. And there are different tiers. Like if you just pop in one day, you might get 100 gold. You might get a common or uncommon weapon. But if you log in consecutively over like a week, by the time at that point you're at tier 3 and you can unlock like character loadouts, cosmetic stuff, shit like that.
All right. Sounds interesting.
It's free to play, and it was in closed beta, but now it's in open beta. So it's one of those things where, if anything I've said like remotely piques your interest, just check out the Steam store.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of stuff came out of PAX. We're gonna jump into kind of carpet bombing some of the more basic news, and then going into more depth about some of the other stuff. Just to cover some of the more bullshit stuff. Let's see, Halo 5 had a few controllers released. They look pretty. That's really about it. Let's see. Battlefield Hardline had Resolutions announced for console: 900p on PlayStation and 720 on Xbox One, which doesn't make sense to me because they keep claiming that they're increasing the Xbox One's power via patches and stuff, and it's supposed to be able to compete with the PS4. So I still don't understand that discrepancy, but you know, PS4 best. Moving on, we've got a few things to touch on. We have Overwatch, which is Blizzard's new, well, I guess upcoming Team Fortress-esque team-based shooter. Looks pretty interesting. They've announced a variety of heroes already, but they announced some new ones, and they announced a date that the beta is going to start. Well, not a date, but they were saying that the beta was going to start this Christmas. So, knowing Blizzard, it'll probably be invite only for quite some time, and then eventually they're going to start selling access. Because, you know, that's what they do. But anyways, these new characters look pretty interesting. We've got Zarya, who is basically like the Heavy from TF2, except she's a woman, because Blizzard wants to flip gender roles on their asses. So she's really well built, I guess. I don't know. How do you guys feel about the way she looks?
Looks hot.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a scar on her forehead, pink hair.
Why is Cullen Bohannon standing next to her?
Yeah, that's the other guy, McCree.
That's Bohannon, if I ever saw Bohannon.
That is definitely Cullen Bohannon, 100%. Yeah, he's supposed to be, like, ridiculous DPS, apparently. He's kind of the glass cannon of this game, so he can't take any damage, but he can really dish it out. He's got a revolver that can be fired, like, one of two ways. He can either, you know, do single shots, or he can just, like, cock the weapon, pull the trigger as fast as he fucking can. One of them is obviously less accurate than the other, but one of them does heaps and heaps and heaps of damage, apparently. So that's interesting. I don't know. Do you guys have any interest in Overwatch? What do you guys think about that from what you've seen so far?
It's Blizzard, so not really.
If it has the same, you know, free to play like Team Fortress, yeah, I'd be interested.
Yeah,
they need one of those.
I guarantee you they're gonna make you pay for characters in Overwatch. I'm really hoping it doesn't go the route of the Heroes of the Storm type model.
It absolutely is.
There's
no doubt in my mind.
I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that we get a decent pool of characters to play with. Because I really do. I am really looking forward to this game. It's the first real new IP that Blizzard's had in a really long time. And I think a lot of people are really looking to this as like kind of their future. Like, what will this brand be able to last and stand the test of time, like, you know, Warcraft and StarCraft and Diablo?
Yeah, I mean, as new as it is, nothing about it seems new to me.
Yeah,
you know, except for the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely. I don't think they're really setting out to do anything new. I think they're recognizing the fact that there's a player pool that wants something new from Team Fortress and just wants new characters and stuff. So they're probably trying to cash in on that.
Years ago, like, I mean, there hasn't been any like Team Fortress-esque game to really replace Team Fortress, and Dota 2 and fucking Counter-Strike kind of knocked down that player population pretty good. So it's not like Team Fortress 2. It's still a popular thing, but it's not like a titan of a
that's what
standard of PC gaming.
That's what I'm saying, though. I think Blizzard might see an opportunity there to come in and revitalize that kind of thing, especially with the popularity of arena shooters kind of reemerging.
Dude, they fucked up. They should have made a roguelike.
Jesus Christ! Like, we're gonna be talking about enough roguelikes here in a minute, but yeah, especially if they balanced it out a little better than Team Fortress was, and actually gave it a chance to be competitive. I think it could have some potential. But enough about that. We'll go on to Shovel Knight, a game none of us have played, but it was just announced on Vita, so I will definitely be playing it on that. But a game I know a lot about because I've been really looking forward to it for a long time.
What's it about again? I always hear you joking about it, but
it's basically like a side-scrolling 2D game. It's kind of got like roguelike elements and stuff in there. But it looks like it was, designed on the Nintendo. It's basically
It looks like every other
ridiculously
indie
hard
game that came out in
platformer.
recent years.
But it looks very well done. It looks like the mechanics are very sound. And the characters are pretty intriguing, I think. I don't know. They captured my attention.
A Shovel Knight captures your attention.
Yeah, dude.
Just a
Absolutely.
knight running around with a shovel.
Anyways, it's gonna get some free DLC, which is awesome. Developers that release free DLC are always cool. But anyways, this DLC will allow you to play as a bad guy. And apparently it doesn't add anything else to the game. There are no new levels, there are no anything else, but you get to play it as a bad guy. So that's pretty awesome, I guess. That's really all about that. Looks interesting. Can't wait to play it on Vita. I really want a Vita release date. Please, give that to me. What else do we have on this list? Oh, Heroes of the Storm. Sylvanas Windrunner, apparently, was announced. That's pretty cool, I guess. She wasn't a pain in the ass enough in Hearthstone. She's sure to be in Heroes of the Storm.
And that's
Right.
coming from a shaman player.
Dude, shaman for life, man.
don't understand.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what her skill set's all about. It'll give me a reason to jump back into the game and give it a shot again. They've gotten kind of bored with it. They've also announced a new map. This one is supposed to be very, very close quarters. So it's gonna be a huge emphasis on team-based combat. There's gonna be a lot of lane ganking. Apparently, this map is like ridiculously small. So it's very easy to jump between lanes. Looks interesting. Actually, Tim, do you mind seeing if you can pull up the details on the new map?
Sure.
So what sets this one apart from other MOBAs? Is it just the different characters?
It's fucking casual. Very easy to get into.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of
Alright.
like it's the MOBA for people that hate MOBAs, pretty much.
Ooh, my ears perked up. Go on.
You don't farm. There's no emphasis on farming. It's all entirely team-based, so you don't have different levels. You only perform as well as your team performs. Like the kill-death ratios and stuff are all kind of fucky, for lack of a better word. Basically, if you're in the immediate vicinity of somebody that gets killed, then that kill gets awarded to you as well. So it's basically all the team members that interact with it. So there's no real emphasis on kill stealing. It really just kind of makes the entire essence of the gameplay very team oriented from the get-go. So I mean, for people that really like MOBAs, kind of makes it loses my attention very quickly because I just feel like there's not enough going on. There's no items. It's all entirely based off skill builds. It's basically just pushing. It's like a tower defense game pretty much more than anything else. I wouldn't even really call Hearthstone a MOBA. I mean, there's heroes and stuff, but it's really just a tower defense game with characters running around. That's really about all it is. But I guess at its core, that's really all MOBAs are. General. Do you find the details on that? If not, we'll just move
Nope.
on. Alright, let's just move on.
Everything's about the new character, nothing about the new map.
Alright. Alright. we're on to the new Behemoth game. It's just titled Game 4 right now. I'm super duper excited about this. Behemoth is probably one of my top 10 favorite developers. I've pretty much loved everything they've done, so the idea of a turn-based strategy game is really interesting to me. Jose, you took a look at it also. You said you thought it looked pretty legit. Why did it catch your interest?
Well, kind of like the first thing that came to mind was that game Banished, where it's kind of like a it's not a turn-based RPG or a turn-based strategy game. It's
It's an RTS.
what's the other term for an RTS? But the people you control are kind of autonomous, and that was the cool thing about that game. And so when I read that you don't really control who they attack or what they do, you just move them around on the board. I thought that was pretty ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love weird AI stuff like that, and that's what appealed to me the most. Second, the art style of anything that Behemoth does is it's just fun to watch.
It's
fun
really
to look
awesome. It's really awesome. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
And I mean,
on
I
that.
didn't get into the technicals or anything, but it's hex based. You know, you move it around. There's a bit of strategy involved. There's lots of different classes. It just looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah, I have.
But then again, I said this about the last game they put out, and I still haven't played it. But I mean, I'm glad that they keep making games. They're always really, really fun, really cool looking, technical.
Yeah, Battle Block was really awesome, but it's one of those games that I would really, really prefer to play with other people, we should jump into that at some point, Jose. If you ever see that game for like goes down to like $1.50, something like that, on Steam sales. But it's just stupid platforming action. It's a lot of fun. One thing that I did absolutely love, speaking of the art style for Game 4, is the fact that they're returning back to their roots and just making the game like ridiculously violent again for just no apparent reason. And I am just on board for that, like 100%. The cartoon violence that Behemoth does is absolutely fantastic, so really looking forward to that. Alright, we covered Overwatch, covered Game 4. I want to take a moment. This is pretty much something that's really going to interest me and only me, because none of you guys have Vitas, but Severed looks absolutely awesome. It's getting, it's just shown at PAX East. It's a beta exclusive as of right now, I believe. And it's basically like a first-person dungeon crawler where you kind of explore things room by room, and you can only like move the camera left or right. And then there's elements of like Infinity Blade in there, so there's a lot of like on-screen slashing and stuff. And so it's called Severed because you can take the limbs off your enemies and then use them to like upgrade your equipment. It's also called Severed because it's about the game's protagonist is a woman who got her arm cut off and then had it replaced with a living sword. And I don't know, man, it looks fucking sweet. It's got Guacamelee art style written all over it. And I'm really excited for it. It's got a lot of potential. Lord knows Vita needs something to grab everybody's attention. Man, that console's hurting. That console is a hurting. But I'm over in the corner rooting for it, so that'll be awesome. Really looking forward to that. What else do we have here? We already talked about Nosgoth. We already talked about Severed. Battlefield's out of the way. Necropolis. Did you guys get a chance to watch that YouTube video?
No, I did not. It
All
came back when we started.
Yeah, that game looks awesome, I guess. I don't know, it's another roguelike third-person type thing. Ridiculously violent. Looks like you're gonna die a hell of a lot.
Oh, yeah. I like the art style.
Yeah, very cool art style. It looks like it's kind of trying to be like a... You can just quickly jump into this and play a couple rounds type of Dark Souls presentation, because the combat looks like you have to like know your enemy types and be able to kind of predict movements and deal with things differently as they come at you. So I'm, and the game obviously, like even in the trailer it says death happens, so the game's obviously okay with just killing you over and over again like most every other roguelike.
I like the fact that it's 3D, or at least it looks 3D, like on a plane, unlike the 2D kind of scrolly roguelikes we get lately.
Yeah, it definitely separates itself in that respect pretty well, I think. It's not first person or side scrolling, so that enough is kind of a separation for it. But the other thing that caught our interest out of PAX was Lost Within, which was announced recently. It's going to be a mobile game. It's by Human Head Studios, so they're the production studio that did Prey. And it looks a lot like Outlast, but I don't know what's going to separate it, to be completely honest. But I'm not against something Outlasty on mobile at all. The fact that it's developed by Amazon Game Studios makes me really think that it's probably going to be Android exclusive for a while, though. Which is kind of a bummer for iPhone users, but, it is what it is. Game looks interesting, though. In the trailer, he throws some sort of, like, flash bomb or something at whatever's chasing him, and looks like it's just a combination of Outlast and... what the hell is the name of that other one? Amnesia. Because it looks like there's a lot of psychological effects and stuff rather than so much gore and cock. But I could be mistaken. There could be gore and cock. But yeah, that's about it. That's been coming out of PAX. Why don't we move on to what we've been playing lately? Tim, I'll let you take it off. I know you've been playing a bunch of different things lately over the past weekend.
Yeah, I hopped on the Dirty Bomb beta. I'm liking that a lot. It's by the same guys who did we mentioned it before on the cast. It's by the same guys who did Brink and Quake Enemy Wars, Wolfenstein, the 2003 one, whatever the hell it was called. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a fun multiplayer shooter. Basically, kind of TF2-esque. There's no one TF2S game dominating the market, but is pretty goddamn saturated with them. But this one's actually decent and has a good free-to-play model, so...
Does it do anything to separate from that classic TF2 formula?
Yeah, the classes are... It's not so much you pick a class and this is your loadout. Your different classes can do different things that affect the battlefield differently.
Okay.
Like you have to be a certain class to get grenades, you have to be a certain class to call in airdrops, and then there's like a separate artillery type of class. It's a whole thing. And the way it works is with loadout cards. Like you don't have specific guns, you have like loadout cards that give you specific guns that change specific attributes.
Okay. Like loadout cards like burn cards in Titanfall, or like...
No, like your loadout. Like you'll have this gun with this pistol with this attachment to it.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm asking is it like random, like the burn cards in Titanfall, or do you like earn them?
No, you earn them and you equip them, and that's your loadout.
All right.
It's just you can't really mix and match things. They're all kind of meant to be balanced, so that one class isn't dominating another.
Well, tell me about the free-to-play model a little bit.
The loadouts, I just told you. That's all there is. There's no cosmetics as of yet, but they mentioned they might do it. But the loadouts also affect the or plan to also affect the cosmetics. So in addition to doing cosmetics, I don't know.
You have to buy the different loadouts?
No, there's not even like a store in the game yet.
Oh, okay. So it's just totally free then, right now.
Right now, yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. What about you, Jose?
Well, I haven't played Dynasty Warriors 8 since I last played. We talked about it last podcast. I'm waiting for my wireless 360 adapter so I can finally
I think we just
play with
lost
the control.
him.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
But I've been playing this game called Our Darker Purpose. I saw it was on sale over the weekend, and a lot of the comments, like the game, like the reviews in the Steam store, said it was like a knockoff of Binding of Isaac or other like roguelike RPG games like that, which I haven't played. So this is kind of a cool experience for me. It's got the kind of art style of Don't Starve. That's kind of drew me to it, and it's like a fun little game that you lose hours playing. You know, collecting items, upgrading your character, and then dying, and then keeping perks, and then starting over again. It does get a bit repetitive, but it's super fun, and I'm probably going to play the hell out of it and then never pick it up again.
Yeah, most roguelikes do get super repetitive super quickly. Yeah, it's cool. I've been seeing that you have been playing that a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
Hearing about that.
And the thing, it's after you lose the game or win, it's surprisingly short, but it's super hard to get to the end. You get credits because it takes place in like an abandoned school, like a boarding school, and so you get credits, and then you put credits into buying classes or lessons, and then those are like things you can take into the next go around. So like it takes a lot of credits to unlock things. You have to get achievements to unlock lessons. So they do a lot to make you keep playing the game, with the promise of making it just a little bit easier next time. But yeah, it's all right. I don't know if it's still on sale, but it's pretty fun for a few hours.
Cool. You yourself playing it for much longer? Or are you about ready to pass on it? Also, does it have any co-op or any multiplayer at all, or is it entirely single player?
It's all single player, and I'll probably play it for another week. I see myself simply because I saw another game that came out a while back that I'm interested in playing called Endless Dungeon. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. And I happened to catch a video of it a couple of days ago and piqued my interest. So yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and then Insurgency. We hopped on that.
We did
last night or a couple nights ago.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like shooters. I don't like first-person shooters or really team-based tactical stuff because I suck at like those sort of games. But this one, it just drew me for some reason. We play on and off, but for whatever reason, like I feel like doing tactical team-based shooters now. I feel like that's going to become my thing.
Is it because it lets you play as terrorists, Jose?
There is that, which apparently is a new feature for the game, according to Tim. But no, I just like. I think it was
it was a newer feature that got patched.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, it's just fun playing in a team with a bunch of assholes.
Cool. Yeah, we hopped on that for what, like 2 hours last night, I guess, if that.
Right.
Interesting. I don't know. I can only tolerate so much of that game. It just makes me want to play Red Orchestra.
That's a little too hardcore for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked Red Orchestra. But yeah, Insurgency's fun. For short stints of time. I have been playing a game that I kind of bought on a whim. Grim Dawn was on sale, I believe, yesterday, maybe the day before. I don't know. It was on sale some point this weekend, and I'm really impressed with it. It's an action RPG. It's got a lot of depth to it. The skill trees and talents and stuff like that are not nearly as complex as like Path of Exile, but they're a hell of a lot better than what Diablo has to offer. And it's lighter on the grind fest. You're still killing a shit ton of monsters, but quests are actually really interesting. There's a sense of purpose to them. Some of them even have like multiple outcomes. You can like use different dialogues with certain characters, and depending on what you choose, things will play out a little differently. An enemy or somebody that might that has the potential to be an ally might fight you, and then you have to kill them. The areas are absolutely massive. I'm just utterly blown away by them. I'm still in the first act. I've put about 5 hours in. I'm only level 18 right now. I believe the cap as of right now is 75. Now the developers are saying it will get to 99 eventually, but they're only about two. I think they've finished 3 acts so far, and I think they're working on the 4th. So the game's a lot of fun. I see a lot of potential in it, like I said, and I am probably going to be playing the living crap out of that for the next couple of weeks. It's just, I don't know, something about it. It's got my attention. It's a little flashier than Path of Exile, and it's a lot deeper than Diablo, and I don't know, it's just a lot of fun, bottom line.
You were even saying that it's a lot more difficult than Diablo.
I am seeing it that way. Resistances, I'm learning the hard way, matter a hell of a lot more in this game than any other action RPG I've ever played. I'm only playing it on normal difficulty, mind you, and if I don't have enough resistances in something, then I just get massacred. It could just be the type of build I'm doing. I really have no idea what I'm doing with the skill tree yet. I'm not really looking forward into what I want to build. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants because I found out that you can respec, so I figured I'd just, YOLO in and see what happened. So the other thing that I really, really like about this game is the fact that you're not isolated to one class. So basically the game asks you whether or not you want to be a male or female character. You pick the sex, and then you go from there. You can be any class that you want. And then once you hit level 10, you can turn around and add a second class to that. So you can kind of like be a hybrid class of different things. So if you want to be a battle mage, you can actually be a battle mage. If you want to do, so you don't have to like kind of pick a sort. It's not like the Diablo 2 days where if you wanted to try to be a battle mage, I guess you would have to just put points into vitality and then you'd pick a sorceress. It's not quite like that at all. And some of the classes look like they're really awesome. I haven't delved a whole lot into them. I'm doing purely a soldier build right now, but they have like a summoner build. It's kind of like a warlock meets necromancer, so you're controlling undead plus like spirits from other planes. There's a demolitionist, so obviously they're all about explosions and massive amounts of damage. And yeah, there's the soldier, there's the, I think it's Nightblade, it's kind of like a rogue DPS type thing. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the 5th class is. There is definitely a 5th class though. But yeah, I'm still in Act 1, 5 hours in. That's a hell of a lot longer than any stuff Diablo's thrown at me or Path of Exile. By this point I'd be, halfway done through my first playthrough. There are multiple difficulty tiers, just like Diablo, like classic Diablo, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm still playing on normal, and I'm still having my ass handed to me. But
is that 5 hours like main storyline stuff or side quests?
That's
like from people in town and stuff.
Well, actually, that's a little bit of both. I haven't finished all the side quests that I've gotten. I've finished probably a good 90% of them. But just this, I think if I just did story missions alone, I would probably have gotten about 3 hours out of it. But the side quests are actually really compelling, and there's a purpose to them. Like you save people, and then they get added to your town. If you choose the right dialogue paths, they'll get added to your town. So for instance, I just got an inventor added to my town, and I have no idea what the fuck he does, but he keeps offering to build stuff for me, so that's something that I've got to kind of figure out as time goes on. So yeah, I mean, like, all these quests have, like, A, they unlock a lot of really awesome story and dialogue, and B, they're perks that there's incentive there to get them. And then obviously the more quests you finish and stuff, there's faction grinding, which just is boring as fuck, but god damn it if it doesn't appeal to the WoW player in me. Because faction grinding gets you discounts at stores, more perks, different skills, different abilities, that you wouldn't normally. Oh, and it also gives you access to like different dialogue options that you wouldn't have unless you had like a higher ranking with those factions. So there's a lot of potential in it. And I will probably be continuing to stream that for quite some time because I'm just absolutely enthralled by that game. And then the other thing that we've been playing collectively has been the Nazi Zombie Trilogy, or Zombie Army Trilogy, rather. We all kind of got that on, what was it, Friday? And we played.
I had that pre-ordered like a week in advance, sir. I was ready for that.
Yeah, I jumped on it when I found out it had 60% off. That was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, goddamn, that's my first time playing through any of those, and I've played the Sniper Elite stuff, but never played any of the Nazi Zombie stuff. The campaign's a little mundane, but the Horde mode is so much fun. I just, just that one moment that we were playing that, and then Tim got disconnected when I was going toe-to-toe with that, like, mini-boss, and I had, like, just fired a Panzerfaust into 2 pieces of dynamite, and that goddamn guy still didn't go down. And all of a sudden...
I remember on my screen, you were just running in place, and eventually he gunned you down. And then, like, I disconnected from everything, and then, I realized what was happening.
Yeah, Tim got disconnected, and I was just like, I was raging. I just wanted to kill that thing so badly and get on to the next level. But yeah, that Horde, Jose and I hopped on it, like, just he and I, and we played one map that was just ludicrously boring. It was, in an alleyway.
But it served a purpose. Like, it showed you how difficult all the rounds got, in other better maps.
I guess, but we didn't.
It just adds more.
We didn't get
like,
any. We didn't get any of the mini bosses. Like, there were no chain gun guys. It was just nothing but more and more armored dudes. So I mean, I feel like there were enemy types that we weren't getting.
You're right.
There were just enemy types that we weren't getting. And I don't know if that was because somebody had lowered the difficulty or what the deal was. But yeah, there were definitely.
I bet. No, we would be like shooting fish in a barrel. All they'd have to do is shoot from a distance and hit us. It wouldn't be fair for that level.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, but I didn't even think about that.
But Jesus, man, that level was boring. And the other thing that really pissed me off about that level was the fact that it doesn't expand at all. Like the one level that we were playing, kind of like the rundown church or whatever it is. I found out that there's a whole another level to that level. Like that area where the zombies kept coming down, like the massive like hole in the ceiling. There were like stairs type things. You can actually climb up that hole, and there's a whole another level with like vantage points for sniping and extra dynamite and a whole bunch of other things. So you can kind of like get all 4 players up onto that top point and then just pick them off and then use trip mines and other forms of defense to stop the horde from coming up the stairs. It also gives you a really isolated path where they can come up. It's like funneling them and making it a little easier to deal with, but enemies do spawn on the rooftops, and you're really, really vulnerable to sniper fire up there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I am looking forward to hopping on that with you guys again. How I know you, Tim, well, both of you guys had played that before, and you said there were a bunch of differences. You went over them with me, but what about like for our viewers that might not be too familiar with the Zombie Army trilogy? What kind of differences can they look forward to?
It just looks a lot better. Combat's much more streamlined. It doesn't, like, kicking and melee doesn't feel as clunky as it did in the first couple games. Just overall, it's considering the game just came out 2 years ago, Rebellion kind of outdid themselves. They could have just ported over pretty much the originals, but they went back and added new characters, a couple new guns, just all sorts of stuff. But for the old games, not even just the new one in the new Horde mode, so it really hats off to them for that.
Yeah, I mean, the only kind of big thing I noticed was weird sound glitches that they fixed or got rid of. They let you equip a shotgun or a secondary, like right off the get-go, and not just your rifle and your handgun. But yeah, just a graphical update. It looks really nice. Yep. I mean, the campaign. One thing I was wondering: have you played a lot of the multiplayer maps, Palmer? Like, do you know if there are?
I've played 2 other ones that I haven't played with you guys. Well, why?
Well, because one of the things in the campaign is after you reach a checkpoint or do an objective, there's usually like a siege. You do a little horde mode. But usually it's like in a town, you've got huge open space where you can perch on on top of a tower and take them out from a distance. And the 2 levels we played of horde mode multiplayer was just kind of confined to like buildings and stuff. I was wondering if we have any sort of, if we know if there are maps like they have in campaign. I can look that up right now.
Yeah, there's one that's kind of like what you're describing. It's not ripped straight out of the campaign, but it looks very similar to the first level. You guys have to keep in mind I haven't finished the campaign yet, so I don't know all of that. I'm only about probably halfway through game 1, I think, at this point. So I don't know how similar the rest of the levels look. It's a possibility that there are other maps that are just taken from other campaigns, but yeah, there's a few maps that are kind of like that. Like, granted, I've only played 2 of the other ones. I think there's like 6 other maps that I haven't played. I think there's a total of 10 horde maps, if I remember correctly. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I could be remembering that wrong. I don't know. There's still a lot of stuff we have to explore in that game. And
Right.
the
Also,
sooner
there's
we
4
do it,
new
the better.
characters, like the female counterparts to the main 4 guys from the first 2 games.
Right. And then you get access to weapons that you don't normally have access to, right? That was the other thing that you guys were saying.
Yeah. So they mentioned that you get shotguns right off the bat.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know what. I guess that's been about it for this weekend. And that's honestly about it for the news and stuff. I don't know. Are there any other topics you guys want to talk about?
Nope. I've been violently old all day. Haven't had time to prepare for the show, so. And daylight savings kind of fucked me.
Well, yeah, that is a thing. Daylight savings is kind of fucky. Well, why don't we go ahead and just call it here then? We'll be back tomorrow night.
One last thing, Tim. Do you know of any websites that are doing sales or deals or anything? Usually.
No, usually midweeks when like Humble Bundle and a lot of the bundle sites pop off, so that'd be something.
Okay.
Usually like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday type deal.
I know Indie Gala started something up new this week, but
Yeah, but it's shit. So.
yeah, it's nothing really good at all.
Indie Gala in recent years has basically been shit. Every now and then they have like a diamond in the rough, but mostly Humble Bundles where you want to put the attention towards. Also, I'm not entirely sure we're going to be live tomorrow, per se, because I'm kind of dying over here. But we will see.
All right, well, we'll play tomorrow by ear. And if Tim manages to get over the Ebola that he has, then maybe we can broadcast. But I think that about does it for tonight. And a little bit of a lackluster episode, but hey, it happens. We'll keep you guys posted on whether or not we're going to be live tomorrow night. So, in the meantime, you can check out our individual streams. All of us stream on our own accounts. You can find them listed below. You'll also see the little Twitter handles. You can follow us on Twitter at Logan703, at Sturmsworth, and at CAD007. Other than that, I guess we'll go ahead and sign off for tonight. Is there anything you guys want to leave our viewers with?
Ebola.
Ebola. All right. Well, take care, everybody. Have a good night.